We're going to continue this time more with writing equations in slope-intercept form, and we're going to talk about parallel and perpendicular lines. So again, M stands for your slope, B stands for your y-intercept. Anytime you're looking at parallel lines, you need to remember they have the same slope. So if we look at both these lines here, I'm going to zoom in so you can see. This first line has a slope of 3 over 5 because they're going up 3, right 5. So their slope's 3/5. This green line also has a slope of 3/5. They're going up 3, right 5. So since they have the same slope, they're parallel. If we actually write the equations of these lines, this top line has an equation of y equals, the slope is 3/5, so that goes in front of my x. And the y-intercept is 5. So y equals 3/5 x plus 5. The bottom one, the green line, passes, well, it's not perfect. It passes between -2 and -3. So I'll put -2, but no, we're estimating. So that one also had a slope of 3/5. But this time the y-intercept's close to -2. So the y-intercepts don't really matter for it to be parallel. The slope just has to be the same. Here we have perpendicular lines. For perpendicular lines, slopes are opposite reciprocals. So here, yes, they do intersect, but they intersect at perfect 90-degree angles. And if we look at the actual equations of each one, our green line is going down 6, right 7. So the slope's -6 over 7. We put that in front of x, and it crosses at about 2 for the y-intercept. Our purple line is going up 7, right 6. So the slope is 7 over 6. And it crosses the y-axis at about 1. So here, these slopes, they're not the same like parallel. They're opposite reciprocals. In other words, what they do is they change the sign and flip the fraction. So perpendicular lines, you change the sign and you flip the fraction of the slope. That's how the slopes are related. On these next examples, we're going to practice writing the equations of lines by identifying slope and y-intercept. So for number 1, I'm going to identify the y-intercept first. It crosses here at -4. So my b is -4. I still need my slope or my m. For that, you have to pick at least 2 points. So I'm going to use my y-intercept, and I'm going to find another point that crosses nicely, like this one right here. And now I'm going to do rise over run. You start at your left point. First, I ask, is this going up or down? It's going to get to the next point, up 1. And then it goes to the right 3. So up 1, right 3. So my slope would be 1 over 3. Now that you know your slope and y-intercept, you can write your equation in slope-intercept form. So our slope was 1/3. That goes in front of the x. And our y-intercept was -4. So that means I would put -4. For question 2, my y-intercept is here at -3. So that's my b. For my slope, I want to choose at least one other point that crosses nicely. So I'm going to use the x-intercept because there I can see it exactly where it crosses. And then I ask if it's going up or down. I always start at the left point. So from the left point to get to the y-intercept, it's actually going to go down. And it goes down 3. And then right 1. So since it went down, it's -3. And it went right 1. That's the same as just -3. So if I write my equation in slope-intercept form, my slope was -3, so I'm going to put y equals -3x. And my y-intercept was also -3, so I put -3. Here on the next question, my y-intercept is at positive 1. That's my b. For my slope, I need to pick another point that crosses nicely. There's several points here. I'm going to use the one at 3, 3. And then I'm going to start at the left point, so the y-intercept. From the y-intercept to get to our new point, we're going to have to go up. Always check if you're going up or down. So here we're going to go up 2 and then right 3. So you're always going from left to right. So up 2, right 3 would be positive 2 over 3. So now we write our equation. Y equals, the slope 2/3 goes in front of the x, and the y-intercept is positive 1, so we write plus 1. For this last example, our y-intercept is at positive 4, so that's our b. I'm going to choose one more point for the slope. So if I look here, the point that crosses nicely is at 4, 1. I'm going to start at my left point to get to my new point. So if I start at my y-intercept, to get to the new point, we're going to have to go down. So I'm going to go down 3 and then right 4. Remember, if it goes down, it's negative. So down 3 means negative 3, and then we went right 4. So my slope is negative 3 over 4. Now if I write my equation, I write y equals, I put my slope in front of the x, so negative 3/4 x, and my y-intercept's a positive 4, so I write plus 4.